Hey, welcome to the Cohn Phone. I'm Grant Cohn. Saturday morning. I know a lot of you guys are probably watching football right now. I forgot that there were football games today. So if you don't want to call in and you don't want to watch me, I'm not taking it personally. I am taking it personally. But I'm going to try not to take it personally. For those of you who want to talk Niners and don't really care about watching Jake Browning versus Nick Mullins for the next hour, I'm here. And the topic of discussion today is the Niners' only remaining concern. I'm not sure what that is. I'm asking you. The team looks like a juggernaut. It looks like head and shoulders better than the rest of the teams in the league. What are you concerned about, if anything? Or is this going to be a cakewalk to the 6th Lombardi trophy? I got Niner Gang waiting, ready to call in. The link is in the description. The link is in the chat box. Feel free to voice your concerns or to talk about whatever the heck you want to talk about. Let's go Niner Gang first. What's up, Niner Gang?
What's going on, Grant? How are we doing on this Saturday?
I'm okay. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm loving life, buddy. Man, only concern I really see, man, with this Niner team is staying healthy, man. They got the troops. They got the players. They just got to stay healthy, man. And, I was listening to Larry and Coach a little bit ago, and I think they made a good point, man. If Dre Greenlaw is not 100%, let's let him sit out this weekend, man, because I still think we can handle the Cardinals without Greenlaw. But going into that Ravens game, man, it's going to be an all hands on deck. Like we blew out Philly, but Ravens, they ain't Philly. They ain't Philly. Lamar Jackson, he gonna test our run D. And
I have a concern for this week. Are the 49ers overlooking the Cardinals? They say they're not. They're so good. They're such a good team. But it seems like all the players who are hurt aren't playing. I mean, if Greenlaw sits out, it almost feels like you said, hey, you got a big game next week against the Ravens. Are they looking ahead to the Ravens? And how could you not?
How could you not? But at the same time, I mean, you got to respect Kyler Murray. I mean, my opinion, he's not, he's right there with Lamar. I mean, he's had a little bit more injuries, holding him back, hasn't had such a great supporting cast.
He had some success against the Niners too.
Yeah, exactly. So for him to go into there and for the Niners, I don't know. I almost feel like I'm with you a little bit. I kind of feel like they may be overlooking this because all this, they're such a great team. Blah, blah, blah.
They're like talking themselves up, right? Like, we're definitely going to play super hard this week, except all of our hurt players are going to take the week off because they're getting ready for Baltimore. And we're basically going to bring in our JVB team, but we definitely are going to beat Arizona.
I don't know how much you remember the first Cardinals game, but their running back, drew a blank.
Connor.
He was having a field day with us. Didn't he get hurt towards the end of that game and got pulled out?
That might be right. That game was 21-16. Niners with about 4 minutes left in the third quarter with Josh Dobbs as their quarterback. So
and I thought,
and that was with Armstead playing and Hargrave playing. And this week now you're not going to have those two. The Cardinals really run the ball quite well. They're committed to it. They're good at it. They have the same yards per carry as the Niners. And so a lot's going to be dependent on Kinlaw and Givens and McGill and whoever else is playing D tackle for the Niners in this game. Like, can you hold up at the point of attack?
Yep. And you almost got to almost play honest football with them. You got to play 11 on 11. Why? Because Kyler's going to, man, I'm telling you, don't let that boy get out that pocket because if they go into it with the game plan, how they did with Jalen, it'll be okay.
They're in trouble. They're in trouble. Nah.
If they can hold him in the pocket like they did Jalen Hurts, as long as our
but if you remember what they wanted to do with Jalen, it was like, man, you can be in the pocket or you can roll out of the pocket, but we're not going to let you like scramble up the middle. But if you want to roll out of the pocket the back way, go ahead because you're not that fast. You're not going to turn the corner and outrun Dre Greenlaw or Fred Warner.
Oh, Kyler Murray is.
Kyler can.
Oh, Kyler can outrun all them Ds.
Kyler does routinely. So it's not like, hey, man, flush him out of the pocket the back way. Like, no. Keep him in the pocket. But he's not going to beat you from the pocket, but he will beat you from the pocket.
Our two D tackles that are starters that are missing, that are out, they helped control that containment of that pocket to keep Jalen in there to make him play quarterback. With them not being there, I don't know how disciplined Kinlaw is going to be. How disciplined T.Y. McGill is going to be going in there. They're going to be able to maintain this.
They need Kalia Davis to have a game.
Yes. He looked pretty stout when he played last week, but he got to have a game. And
right. I'm just looking at what they got. Kevin Givens, Javon Kinlaw, Kalia Davis. Those are their D tackles. And I guess T.Y. McGill's in the practice squad. They could call him up. Hey, they should win this game. 12-point favorites, I believe. But you can see how this could be a game. They fall behind. I mean, their offense should be fine. I kind of expect Banks and Burford to play. They were both limited participants on Friday. I expect them to play. The offense should be fine. McCaffrey had a huge game against them. Purdy had a huge game against them. I'm just curious to see like what this defense looks like. That being said, they only have to defend. It's Connor, Marquise Brown, Trey McBride. Could be worse.
Yep, definitely could be worse.
Yeah.
I think the biggest threat is going to be containing Kyler Murray. If they let him start slipping out of the pocket, if Kyler Murray gets 2 or 3 good rushes on the Niners defense, it's going to be a downhill battle for the Niners because that's just going to boost his morale, and they're just going to take it to us. Kyler Murray's not afraid to get out that pocket. He's slippery. Like we all say, Brock Purdy's mobile and can get around. Kyler Murray's twice as good as him, scrambling around that back pocket. I mean, he's fast.
Question.
The guy is freaking fast. I mean,
he might be the best scrambling quarterback in the league. People forget about Kyler Murray because he's been hurt for the last year, and he's been on some bad teams. Yep. But he had Cliff Kingsbury as his coach. And really what the Niners have been saying all week is like, man, they're so much better without Cliff. That's basically what they've been saying without saying it. Like, man.
Think about last year, like Philly's defensive coordinator, he's their coach now, right?
Yeah.
Look how good Philly's offense was last year. They were dominant last year. This year, look at Philly now without him. They're garbage. They're over there practicing plays with Jalen Hurts falling on the ground.
That's crazy, man. Yeah.
But their biggest concern, man, is going to be stopping Kyler Grant. But I'm going to let you get out of here. Love the view.
Right, man.
Have a great
way
day,
to lead
buddy.
it off. Way to lead it off, man. Have a great Saturday. Take care.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you, buddy.
All right. Korean Ninery beat you to the punch.
I was using the boys' room, so no problem.
Oh, happens.
It happens. Main concern is I kind of agree, but I want to is with the injuries because I don't want injuries to linger too far beyond this game because Lamar's going to be another handful the next week. And I want to see how they can at least keep him semi-contained. So that's where my biggest concern is for this upcoming stretch of games.
Yeah, it's a good prep, right?
Yeah. So just want to see them keep Kyler from, doing a spin and then going out and avoiding the pressure, rolling outside of the tackle box and then making a play somehow in some form or fashion.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be really interesting. I feel like Steve Wilks' defense has done a really good job containing mobile quarterbacks, at least since they let Joe Burrow kind of get loose. Joe Burrow was running on him. But then ever since the bye week, it seems like the Niners defense is dialed in. And I don't really expect Kyler Murray to have a great game. Then again, I don't know. I mean, let's think it through, okay? No Armstead, no Hargrave. Cardinals want to run the ball. If they get movement at the point of attack, if they can push Kinlaw and Givens back and just run it, all of a sudden that's a game. If they can win the line of scrimmage. Remember this, you know what this reminds me of? When the Niners went to Atlanta last year. They didn't have Armstead. They didn't have Hargrave, obviously. Like, they were down a bunch of guys. They lost the line of scrimmage. They lost the game 28-14, I believe. Now, they did have Jimmy Garoppolo. But 28 points they gave up to Marcus Mariota. I can see something like that happening this week if they just can't stop the run.
I would agree with that. I think that's the big key is stop the run and make.
Can you stop the run without Armstead and Hargrave?
It's doable, but everybody has to do their job and not be out of a gap or over pursue. Or
because if you think about it, the way that schematically the Cardinals are going to run, I mean, they're shotgun zone read running team, so they're going to have double team blocks on the D tackles. You're going to have double teams on the D tackles. So Kinlaw doubled, Givens doubled. Can you at least hold your ground at the point of attack? Are they going to get movement on you? Like at Armstead, when it's Armstead, there's no movement. No movement at the point against attacking against Armstead. Kinlaw, we'll see. I don't know. We shall see. He's been playing really well recently. If he can do that against this team, he'll make some money this offseason. So it's a big opportunity for Javon.
I think it'll be an intriguing game. I thought 12 points was a little too big of a line with all the injuries. When I first saw that, I was like, maybe they know something that we don't, or someone's going to step up that we're not expecting. So we'll see.
Let's see what it is real quick. Week 16? We're week 15, right?
15, yes.
Week 15. Let me see what the line is real quick. Where you at? Arizona. It's 12.5. Hasn't moved at all. I guess odds makers don't really give a damn about the Niners' interior run defense.
You know what they say, though? There's shiny, tall buildings in Vegas for a reason. So,
all right, man. Good to see you.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. All right, Mr. Blue Magic, you put that out, right? You good? Can't have you promoting that to the youth on my channel, man. Mr. Blue Magic, man. How you doing? That's a brand name.
Yeah, what's up? It's been a while. It's been a while. I've been a little bit.
Yeah.
Brother Bob, what's mobbing? Y'all already know Brooklyn in the building. Shout out to Lowell Cohn.
What's on your mind, man?
My biggest concern is the attrition. Not even this game. My biggest concern is moving forward. What we don't understand is we've been on the football gods graces this year, especially in the beginning of the year. This is the least injured that we've been in a Kyle Shanahan regime. Think
Yeah.
about all the teams we played, even though the teams weren't good. But I went back and I started digging it up. We've yet to play a team that wasn't missing at least two key starters, whether it was on offense or defense. We played the Giants without Saquon. Dallas lost
Right.
Diggs.
That's right.
Kyler wasn't there. Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb was gone. Justin Jefferson, Joe Burrows was hurt. It defies me how he came back and played that well. But for us, our biggest Kyle's biggest excuse has been the injuries. So what concerns me is they're piling on now, late
Yeah.
in the season.
Yeah. Yeah, they are, right? I mean, they've been playing so well, but all of a sudden, Hargrave, Armstead, Ward, I mean, like, there's a lot this week. And it seems
Yes.
kind of like the Niners are like, yo, let's just take a breath, let these guys rest up, and be as healthy as possible for Baltimore.
And
Which
I
kind
and
of
I and I,
would be,
I as much as I believe that first seed is so vital. The extra week of rest, home field advantage. I would rather be healthy going into the playoffs than I would be more so on securing the number one seed. We already know, hands down, we're the most complete team in the league. When we're playing at our best, there's an argument that no one can beat us.
yeah,
If we go into it unhealthy, we seen losing Trenton Debo. You know what I'm saying? We've seen
yeah,
these little moments where when we dip in production. So I rather Kyle let these. I don't care who it is. Let everybody rest. Not only before the rest, but also to Kyle. Can we start using this young talent and seeing what we have before we're forced to do it in
yeah,
situations that are ideal?
right, right,
Like why not let Mason get more acclimated? Like it's one thing, and if you play sports, you know this. It's one thing to learn from the side,
yeah,
but you can go through the mental reps all you want until it's live bullets. It's a different ball game. So let Mason get in, let Ronnie Bell get in, let
yeah.
these guys take the
Do
result.
that this week. Yeah,
The perfect week.
yeah,
It's not like losing this game. The division title is in trouble. Like let's look for we we look past teams in the schedule. So why can't we look past situations for the playoffs? Forget this game, Kyle. Let's get ready to help it for Lamar, and let's get ready to get these younger, inexperienced players some experience for the playoffs, just in case football gods forbid, please, I'm begging you, just in case they're forced, they're forced into a situation with bigger pressure. You know what I'm saying? There's one thing to go into a pressure game and at least have some gauge of what the game feels like and what it looks like in the moment, as opposed to going into a playoff pressure game when you don't know what the field looks like in the regular season. Come on,
that's right. That's right. Yeah, good stuff, Mr. Blue Magic. Thanks for calling in.
you already know. Brother Bob, we in here.
All right, man. Take care. Chap, you ready? You ready? Chap's not ready. Okay, EJ Reed, what's up? You're muted. You just got to press the little microphone button. Chap, I'll come back to you. The little microphone button on your thing, on your screen. See, you're muted. There you go. I can't hear you. I cannot hear you. Hey, leave and come back in. Try it again. Chap, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I've been watching you for a while. That's actually my brother right there.
Oh, okay.
EJ Reed, that's my brother. Yeah.
That's what's
crazy.
up. All right.
Yeah. How you doing today, Grant?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I just got off work at 7.
Nice.
Yeah. I work the night shift. Yeah, I've been watching your show for a while, but I've been too nervous to come on the Cohn Zone. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, well now you're here.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask you, it's not really a question, it's just kind of like something I wanted to run by you. You see a lot on Twitter or on X or whatever you want to call it. People will be like, not really too much Niner fans, but opposite fans. They'll be like, oh, he has the best supporting cast in football, talking about Purdy. Oh, he has the best supporting cast in football and all these crazy things. But when we're not playing well, Kittle is the number 3 tight end. He's tight end 3 to Kelsey and Mark Andrews. And no one will ever agree that Brandon Ayuk, except for us Niner fans, will ever agree that Brandon Ayuk's a top 10 wide receiver. The only person you can't dispute being great right now this season, or mostly his career, is Christian McCaffrey. But Debo, he's a running back playing wide receiver. Ayuk's not a top 10 wide receiver. Kittle's the third best receiver or tight end in the league. When we're not playing well. So I don't understand how they'll be like, oh, he has the best supporting cast, but they never want to acknowledge like all of their deficiencies when we're winning. You see what I'm saying?
That's true. I would say Ayuk's a top 10 wide receiver to me.
I would say so,
but I hear what you're saying.
In my opinion, I think he is a top 10 receiver. But, from the outside looking in, I guess the league hasn't really had their eyes on him for too long. So they'll be like, oh, he's not a top 10 wide receiver. But, like, they don't watch him every single week like us Niner fans do. That's true. They'll be like, Kittle, oh, he's forgotten about in the offense. I mean, yeah, he is, but he has, like, other weapons all over the field. And they'll be like, oh, is he really, like, one of the best tight ends in the league? He's only really good at blocking, like, that's what people will say on Twitter, on X,
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're not real official football analysts, because they're not. But I'm saying, like, it's just crazy how just crazy how they'll throw these things back and forth, and it's just like, all right, so where are we at? Like, can we meet in the middle somewhere?
Well, if he wins the Super Bowl and the MVP this year, you're going to hear a lot less of that what about and second guessing stuff with Brock Purdy. Yeah, it's just that he hasn't even turned. Is he 24 yet? He might have just turned 24. So I guess it's going to take people a little while.
Exactly. And I'm 24, so I'm like, he's younger than I am. Trey was younger than I am. I'm 24, and I make mistakes all the time in life, not even on the football field. So, like, it's just crazy, like, how people will judge these two guys who aren't even 25 yet, haven't even touched 30, and they're judging them like, oh, yeah, these guys are like, he's a bust, he's trash, he's a system quarterback, he's this. It's just like, come on, guys. These guys ain't even been in the league for more than 20, 30 games yet.
It's true. Did you hear me? I asked Kyle yesterday. Someone asked him about Javon Kinlaw and, like, the development, and I asked Kyle, like, is it harder than ever to develop young players? And he was like, how do you develop them?
Yeah.
There's no time. And then you put them on the field, and they're not ready, and then they lose their opportunity. And I was like, oh, like Trey Lance, right?
Exactly.
That's the thing. You can't. We're going off topic, but, like, you can't really draft project quarterbacks anymore. Why is Brock Purdy so successful? No assembly required. Batteries included.
Exactly.
Ready to go.
It's
no
like
development in the NFL anymore.
Included. Exactly. Like you just said, it's like buying a toy with everything included.
All right, chat. Good to see you.
But good to see you too, man. Hey, keep doing your thing for sure.
Thanks, man. Call back in. All right. EJ Reed, you're next. I'm just gonna do a little bet US. Let's check out. I like to check out the boards for MVP, Offensive Player of the Year. Christian McCaffrey's in a really heated race with Tyreek Hill for Offensive Player of the Year. And, I mean, it looks like Tyreek Hill is the favorite for sure, right? He's minus 180, which means I don't even know what that means. But it means that he's the favorite. McCaffrey's number 2 at plus 140. We saw Tyreek go down last week. He's got a little bit of an ankle problem. If he gets nicked up and McCaffrey stays healthy, I feel like now is a good time to wager on McCaffrey. If you want this wager, you go to BetUS, and if you use the link in the description, you get 125% bonus. So if you put down $100, they put down 125, and all of a sudden you're betting 225 on Christian McCaffrey, whose odds could, go up after this week if Tyreek Hill has a slow week with this ankle injury. Something to think about. Now's a great time to go to BetUS and make this Christian McCaffrey wager if that's what you're looking at. And if you win at the end of the year, you get your money in less than 24 hours, which is really nice about BetUS. You can check out the MVP odds. You can check out the Niners point spread. They're minus 12.5 point favorites on the road against Arizona without a lot of starters. You might want to bet against the Niners this week if you're feeling really crazy. Bet on Arizona. Go to BetUS or not. I don't know. Up to you. But that's how you do it. The link is in the description. Thank you very much, BetUS. Let's get to EJ Reed. EJ.
Hey, Grant. How's it going?
There you are, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I just want to touch on just a couple quick points real quick. First, I just want to ask a question. What is how do you differentiate good play calling versus good execution?
Good play calling versus good execution. Well, good execution could be like breaking a tackle, making a contested catch, winning a route. But if the play calling sort of like opens a lane for a running back or opens a window for a quarterback or a wide receiver to get open, maybe that's good play calling. Maybe, okay. Being one step ahead of the defense schematically is good play calling. I don't know. Hard to say.
The reason why I asked that is really because now I'm one of the ones now, I guess some people will say Brock hater, whatever you want to call it, but I've definitely grown into Brock. The way Brock has been playing, you cannot deny that kid is talented. He's talented. But even with that being said, when you watch the games, now there are a couple times during the game where you see a throw from Brock and you're like, oh yeah, he put it right there. But most of the time, you will see like a Debo running wide open, or you have an Ayuk literally right in the perfect spot where he's underneath the safeties, but right behind the linebacker. It's perfect spot. Yes, Purdy's getting the ball to him, but some of those receivers are wide open. A lot of his yards are yak. Debo just had a 40-yarder last game, the game before that. And it does kind of seem...
I got an example for you. How about the two last games against the Eagles? Mm-hmm. So against the first game against the Eagles in the NFC Championship game, Kyle wasn't schematically ahead of Jonathan Gannon. He had the wrong game plan, and he asked Tyler Kroft to execute. Hey, man, execute. Go execute a block against Hassan Reddick. Didn't work out so well. And instead of Kyle coming back the next year being like, all right, we're going to execute the same game plan better. Mm-hmm. No, we're going to have a better game plan. We're going to have a different game plan. We're not going to do slow play action from under center. We're going to get in the shotgun and throw quick passes to the flat.
Yes.
That's the difference. Yeah.
And that would be, and that right there, that's basically,
because good coaching is putting your players in the best position to succeed. Asking them to execute is kind of like, hey man, whatever I call, you got to do, regardless of whether it's what you major in, as Kyle Shanahan puts it.
Yes. And I don't say that to diminish Brock, because Brock does make plays, even if the receiver may be covered at first, but it's Brock getting out of the pocket, running around, waiting for it to get open, and making the play. So I do give him that, but I do.
He does a lot of the stuff Kyler Murray does.
Yes,
frankly.
Yes. And I do feel though, if Kyler Murray does it, it's most of the time it's him making a good play, but when Brock does it, it's either Kyle Shanahan or,
See, that's funny though. Like, I guess I understand the chip on the shoulder, the slight, but I feel like if you took a poll among NFL fans, who would you rather have, Brock Purdy or Kyler Murray? I think people would say Brock, because he's having a good year and there's total recency bias. Yeah. But when I was hearing Kyle talk about Kyler and Bose talk about Kyler, it kind of sounded like they were saying like, look, man, we really like our quarterback. Kyler's better than our quarterback. That team isn't as good as us, but Kyler is really, really good. And if we had him, like that's kind of what it sounded like.
I think Kyler pumps more fear in defenses than Brock Purdy does. It's the people around.
The only reason you don't have to worry about Kyler is because he doesn't have the weapons. In the past, he was saddled with freaking Cliff Kingsbury. But next year could be a different story. Trey McBride's really good, the tight end. And next year they probably still have some other wide receivers.
Yeah, and that's going to be scary for the 49ers. And as soon as I think Arizona and Rams may not look like it, But if the Rams were to get rid of some of their, high price pieces and start, I think the NFC West can be wide open. I think
It's possible.
the Niners have the league
Seahawks are
because
tanking.
yes,
But the
they are.
Rams, I don't know. I mean, like, Stafford's getting a little old, but yeah, it seems like the Cardinals are ascending quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the NFC West, they are playing hard. Exception just the Seahawks. You can tell that they're kind of diving. They want some draft picks. You can see that.
Dude, the Geno Smith thing was a mistake.
Yes, it was.
Big mistake.
He should have just been a bridge 1 year and
No
then
doubt.
find your new quarterback.
Yeah, they gave him $50 million over 2 years. Ooh,
yeah. But I
Yeah.
don't want to keep you up. I just want to touch bases on those. Been watching you for a minute. Read your father. Don't look old, but I'm your age. I'm 35.
Okay.
So
I'll tell him.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
definitely. I read your father's articles in the Chronicle. So you definitely keep doing what you're doing. You're not
Appreciate
a hater.
you,
You speak the truth.
Thank you, EJ. I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. That's a really nice looking sweater too, I want to say.
H&M. Thank you.
H&M, baby. Love that. All right, have a good one.
All right, Grant. Thank you.
All right, man. Take care. We got Brother Bob, Tyler, Luis. Brother Bob, it's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Why did I think you were like a 15-year-old white kid just messing around? No, you're the real deal, man. I thought you were some kid.
No.
Nah, I knew it.
No, man.
I knew.
I'm really a lawyer, believe it or not.
Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Orange County, Cali.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
I live in HB.
All right.
So, oh yeah, hell yeah, it's real close.
Yeah.
So, Iglet, first of all, it's good to finally meet you too, my brother.
Good to meet you too.
I'm very upset that you didn't come and kick it at a dinner after the Rams game.
I'm sorry I didn't make it, man.
I have to do it another
Sorry
time.
about that. Next time.
Oh, good. Let me say what up to Mr. Blue Magic as well. Now, here's my thing, Iglet. This is our year, Super Bowl of bust. Okay. I think we have the best talent in the entire NFL, which I think is kind of trash this year. I can't think of another good team as talented as we are. And I got to give it credit. Shanahan's in his bag. Like he's just in his bag. I still don't like the overusage of CMC. I think that can be problematic if he gets injured. And I would love to see BA featured a little bit more. But tell me do you see any other team out here that's better than us?
That's what I'm asking. Like the topic of this show is the only remaining concern. No one is called in with a concern. Not one person. And I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know what it is. Is it another team? Is it a position group? Is it Kyle? Maybe it's Kyle. Maybe it's like, look, man, this guy has a troubling past. He's had some really good years. He's had some really good teams, but there's something about him at the finish line. Him and the finish line just don't get along. I don't know what it is, but that's it, I guess.
Okay, well, hold on. Before we talk about me being a 15-year-old white boy, let me just say this, though. Seriously, I went to that last Super Bowl, okay? I was there in Miami. Okay. I had my stupid Jimmy Garoppolo jerseys. That guy.
You bought one?
Yeah. Anyway, 7 minutes and 10 seconds. I had Chiefs fans sitting behind me and Chiefs fans in front of me, but the whole row is like Niner fans, and I just don't know if I can go again because that just looked pitiful. And then to hear Ward, Chavez, Mooney Ward come on and say, well, we just wanted to make Jimmy throw it. And like, didn't Kyle, and I went to the NFC Championship.
That's not all he said either. He said, we wanted to put the game in Jimmy's hands, but Kyle just kept running the ball until the end when he stopped running it. That's what he said. I was like, man, that's your coach.
That's what I'm saying. And I went to the NFC Championship game that year too. And I remember telling my wife, who was sitting in the stand, I'm like, wow, they're not letting Jimmy throw it. Like 8 attempts. I can't remember how many completions. And then it was funny to hear Bradshaw talk shit about that, in a post game, I'm sure you're at the stadium. So it kills me that at the Super Bowl, I mean, yeah, there was that one pass, the Kittle deep pass, I think it was before the half, that they called PI on Kittle. That was bullshit. But anyway, my point is, that's what scares me. So that could be our downfall. Kyle doing his thing, just getting those clenched butt cheeks. But I'll give you another one that I used to rag on all.
He's a butt cheek clincher. He has been. Sorry.
I agree.
He's a butt cheek clincher. You can't forget that.
Yeah, sitting in that game just showed me a lot. And then, of course, what he did when he was in Atlanta as the offense coordinator. But I'm a little nervous about one guy that, Moody. I hope it doesn't come down to Moody in the playoffs because, he was shaky in preseason and a little bit in the season.
He hasn't had to do anything in 2 months.
Right.
Just blowout after blowout. What if they're actually in a close game and it's like, all right, man, we really haven't asked you to make a pressure kick in 3 months. Go keep your season alive. Like, that's what Robbie Gould used to do routinely. Like,
yes.
I got that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So before I go, because I know I've been going for a long time, and I know you probably got a whole bunch of other people. You still didn't answer my question, Eaglet. Is there any other team in the NFL that you think is as talented as our Niners?
I want to see what Baltimore's got in a couple of weeks. They got a really good offensive line. The Niners don't. They got Ronnie Stanley and Linderbaum. They're a very talented team, the Ravens. They got an MVP quarterback. I'm curious. I don't think they're as talented as the Niners, but it might be as close as there is. It ain't Dallas.
The way we stumped on Dallas.
Buffalo is, they keep losing close games, but they're tough. They have a good defense. They have a great quarterback. I wouldn't want to face them in the playoffs. Buffalo. They beat Kansas City.
So you think Buffalo, if they got to the Super Bowl, could beat us? I don't know.
He's a handful for the Niners, man.
Well, yeah, he is.
He's a handful. He's got all the things you need to give the Niners problems, Allen.
That is true. Well, we'll see what we do with Lamar
But I don't
Jackson.
think are they going to make it to the Super Bowl? I don't know. I guess anything could happen this year. The league is so trash. That's a nice hat.
Thank you, Cam Newton hat. Hey, don't compare me to that guy.
Hey, Cam Newton came off well this week. He had his take. Everyone, made fun of him or whatever, and he had like this whole thing. Like, wait a second. It's like, yeah, Cam. It was very good. All of a sudden, he just established himself as a serious media analyst. He is.
That's true. He did, and he came off very polished the second time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
he was great.
So
he had his pinky ring and his glasses. He was like, wait a second. This is not intellectually honest. It's like, yeah, tell him, Cam. Tell him, Cam.
So what you're saying? He's a pimp. He was pimp.
I loved it. I like
professional pimp. So okay, I gotta say this before we go. This is important. I gotta ask you a question now. How do you deal with PP? Honestly, I know you have to be professional, political, but I notice he's way nicer on your show than he is on others. So serious question here. How do you deal with him? Look at that.
He's always nice to me. I don't know. I try to do my best. Like I don't know. People who are cool with me, I'm usually cool with. He's always been nice to me. So
well, you don't call him out on this.
I got my eye on him though.
All right, that's good. Please call him out on his BA trash takes about BA. That's just bull. Why would he even say that? I didn't even get that.
I don't know. I'll call him out.
Was he defending his boy Purdy, who I like? I like Purdy. See, I go back in the days.
Purdy likes BA, so I don't know why. PB would. Yeah. BP. All right, man. I'll see you.
Before I go, I just want to say your dad is cool. I go way back. Definitely not a 15-year-old white boy. Nothing wrong with white boys, though. I mean, I love all people. My wife is white. But yeah, man. Good seeing you.
Sorry about that. Good to meet you, man. See you next time.
Later, yeah.
All right, later. Tyler, thank you for waiting. Good to see you. How you been?
I've been good.
Okay.
Haven't seen you in a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So I wanted to add, and you said that there's no other team who do you think is going to be the one thing that's going to stop us from winning the championship? Be honest, it's ourselves.
That's probably it, right?
I keep saying, ultimately, it's ourselves that keeps.
Isn't that sort of what happened in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs?
Yeah.
They stopped running the ball.
I think that, to be honest, Grant, the Niners can be their own worst enemy.
We've seen it.
And even in the three-game losing streak against the Vikings, Browns, and Bengals, do you really think that all three of those teams right now would beat the Niners now? If the Niners were on their A game?
No. which means the Niners essentially beat themselves 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this right now. We're going to win. We're going to win out. We're going to win out. And I'm fairly confident in that. I usually try not be. I'm trying to be as humble as possible. I try to be as.
That's what we all know that about you, Tyler. Very humble man.
So
you don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Exactly.
No.
So I think that, to be honest, if the Niners do not be their worst enemy and do not do anything stupid I'm talking to you, Kyle, directly, because in the biggest moments, Kyle does the stupidest shit. I'm being honest, Grant. We've seen it time and time again.
He hasn't really had a big moment yet. The big moments are waiting.
Yeah,
this season.
And that's I think the biggest thing that we have to wait on is, can Kyle, like you said earlier, in the biggest moment, not look small?
Yeah, good call. Because he has many times in the past. Tyler, great call. Thank you. See you, man. That was good. Tyler killed it. Marcus, are you drilling? What are you doing?
Making something for the new house.
Okay.
How are you, Grant? What to do?
Well, good. You're in motion. Good to see you.
I'm headed up to the rooftop deck to have this call.
Okay.
My new crib.
What's up?
So to answer your questions, or your question, what concerns me the most? I would say there's two things. I would say the first is health. I think that's the biggest thing for this team. I think we're on paper, we have the best team in the league. I think that's easy to see, head and shoulders above any other team that I can think of, top of my head. I don't even think Baltimore is going to be a good test. We'll see. But other than that, NFL's pretty much down this year. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm with it. I mean, I don't see it. Even Baltimore, they just went to overtime with the Rams.
Yeah.
How good are you really?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that, so health is the biggest thing. I think we need to get healthy, and I think we need to get the number one seed. If we get those two things, I think there's no reason that we can't run the table. Now, will we? That's to be foreseen. But I think health and the number one seed, that first round bye, is going to be crucial. And hopefully I can get to all the playoff games this year.
Well, I think what's interesting is this game this week it could affect that seeding. If the Niners lose a game to the Cardinals because they had a bunch of injuries, like, you could forgive them and say, all right, well, if they were healthy, they would have won and they'll be healthy for the playoffs. But this game could be the difference. So It's a big game this week.
I think Kyle beat his bag though this week. I think the defense, obviously the defense with the defensive tackles being out, that's going to be huge, because that Arizona is going to pinpoint that and try to work that. So we got to keep our linebackers clean, or backup.
And Greenlaw doesn't play either. Like, what is that run defense going to look like?
Exactly.
No Greenlaw, no Armstead, no Hargrave. That's going to be very interesting, man.
Yeah. That's all I had.
All right, Marcus, we'll get back to work, dude.
LA.
Hey, I love LA, man. What part?
Van Nuys.
That's what's up, man.
Have a good day, Grant.
Have a good one, man. Take care.
Peace.
Luis, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Luis, what's up?
What's up, Grant? How you doing?
How you doing, man?
Man, it's been a while since the last time I've been on, man. Every time I try to call, man, I'm always driving. You try to get me on, I'm always driving. You're like,
good to see you.
Just
It's
seem
been
to be
a very
driving.
long time.
Yeah, how
Good
you
to see
been,
you
man?
On foot. I'm good, man. How about you?
Man, I'm good. Hey, man, I appreciate everything you do, man. Thank you for holding this team to a very high standard, man. You got to keep doing what you're doing, and your father too.
It's finally paying off.
Cool. Yeah,
it's finally paying off for this team.
And look, man, I don't know what you're doing, but you in Kyle's head now. I don't know what you're doing. What's up, my guy?
We're getting along these days. He's been winning.
Yeah, I know.
I got nothing to say to him.
Hey, no. So one concern I do have is on defense. Offense has been clicking. I think Chase Young's attitude, bro, I feel like it could demoralize this team. The reason why I say that because it takes one person to fuck it up for everybody, right? Excuse my French. But if Chase Young does not change his demeanor and the way he acts on the field, bro, they either gonna cut him or they're not gonna play him because you need to give effort. And this defense gives effort every play. No matter if they're tired, regardless of what the situation is, he needs to give his effort. That's the only thing
He
I
ain't
see
Nick
wrong in
Bosa when it
that.
comes to that.
Huh?
He ain't Nick Bosa when it comes to effort.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I don't know. I just think that's one of the main topics that I need to see him be consistent with. But other than that, bro, I really think this defense is hitting on a high cylinder, and I really believe if this team does not win the Super Bowl, man, it's gonna be demoralizing. I'll tell you that, and very depressing.
All right. Yes. Well, the defense is gonna be really tested this week, man. They could be without 2 linebackers, 2 D tackles, and a corner. Could be missing 5 starters on defense in this game. So it'll be interesting, man. Thanks for calling, Luis.
Hopefully they could. Yeah, hey, have a good day, man. Thank you for letting me hop on. I'll see you. Hopefully you could do a call next Saturday. Hopefully I'll hop on.
For sure. All right, man.
Have
Later.
a good day, man. Keep doing your thing.
You too. AK-49er.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
What's up?
Hey, so before I get into the what could derail the season, I wanted to address Cam's comments.
Let's do it.
First off, I don't think what Cam said was anything wrong. Brock is what you would call a game manager, and for this team, all we really need is a game manager who can make about 2 to 3 throws off script, not someone who can cover up warts like a Josh Allen could or Lamar Jackson. So I think that's what Cam was saying, is that guys like Mahomes and Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, they can cover up warts. While with Brock, he's a high-level game manager who can make 2 to 3 throws off script, and we don't have any warts on our team.
And he can get the most out of a team that doesn't have warts.
Exactly.
Right.
So
because he's so cheap. Yeah. Sorry.
So I think for this situation, Brock is perfect. Now, can he cover up warts? Ask me that 3 years later, and I can give you that answer.
And that's the question you have to ask when you're determining whether to give him the big Mondo extension in a couple of years, because once he makes that money, the team won't be as good and he'll have to cover up warts. But right now, I think like what I would say to Cam if I were discussing this with him, he made a great point.
Yeah.
Teams aren't looking to get the next Brock, Dak, Tua, Goff in the top 10 in round 1. They're looking for quote unquote difference makers, Justin Herberts, Joe Burrows, types like players like that. But those guys are hard to find. And a lot of times the guys you take in round top 10, you think is going to be a difference maker, but it's Trey Lance, someone who's a project, someone who's not that, just a mirage. And instead of risking it all for that, you can also get a game manager easily. And that's what's so cool about the NFL right now. Like, it's hard to find a difference maker at quarterback, like Cam said. There's 3 or 5 of them.
Right.
But the rest of the league can have game managers who make no money and have good supporting casts, and all of a sudden they put up good numbers. So it's a good thing to have, because again, only 3 to 5 teams have true difference makers at quarterback.
And even with a true difference maker, the team may have so many warts that the difference maker, like a Mahomes, may not be able to overcome it. Or a Herbert.
I mean, like, you can't throw the ball to yourself.
Right.
you can't block for yourself. Yeah.
But anyway, so going back to 3 things that I think are the only things that I think could derail us. So the first one is health. As long as we keep our big 8 healthy, and I'm going to name you our big 8. Brock, McCaffrey, Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, Trent, Warner, and Bosa. To me, those are our big 8. Like, as long as we keep those big 8 healthy, we'll be in good shape. I believe we can scheme around everyone else who might, like, say, a Hargrave or an Armstead or a Greenlaw or a Ward who might be out. I believe, like, we could scheme around all that. But as long as those big 8 are healthy, I think we have as good of a shot as anyone to win a Super Bowl.
I love it.
So that's the first one. Number 2 is number 2 and 2A are Kyle Shanahan and Steve Wilks. So I'll tell you why I put Steve Wilks in this. Remember in the Seattle game when DK Metcalf beat Ambry Thomas for that touchdown? I was afraid that since it was a deep touchdown that Steve Wilks would go back to his soft zone. When I'm glad he didn't. But then again, that's a regular season game. But when the stakes are high, my fear is let's say Ambry Thomas or Charvarius Ward or Lenore or whoever, let's say they're playing Philly and A.J. Brown goes deep and scores a touchdown. We play great coverage on him, but, he just made a great play. Is Wilkes going to keep the press coverage going, or is he going to go back to his old soft zone? So that's one thing. So the second thing about Kyle is, let's say Brock makes a turnover-worthy play, like he throws an interception that's dropped. Are you still going to let him cook, or are you going to take the ball out of his hands and go run heavy?
Because Kyle was letting Jimmy Garoppolo cook in 2019, if you remember.
I do remember.
He had the shootout against Drew Brees in New Orleans, and his numbers were great that year. He completed almost 70% of his passes, and then he had that one stinker in the first round against the Vikings, and that was that.
So that's the key is right there. Is he going to continue to let Brock cook, or now? Granted, Brock has way more playmakers to work with than Jimmy. I mean, you got CMC, you got a prime Debo, you got Ayuk, you got Kittle. So I would hope
Mostert and Emmanuel Sanders weren't bad that year. I'm just saying
I still believe that
freaking good.
One more thing, I still believe that in that Super Bowl when Jimmy overthrew Emmanuel, replace those two with Brock and Brandon Ayuk, and that pass gets completed.
I would imagine. AK Niner, great call. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good one. 49ers fan, what's going on?
What's going on, Grant? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Cool. So I was thinking about the topic you had there, and I was thinking about this for a little bit. I have a question for you. So in the past 20 years, let's say 15, 20 years of all the 49er players that have ever gone, to me, I would think at least we have the most potential Hall of Famers on this team right now. Maybe a hot take, maybe something else, but that is to me. And so for me, at least, when it comes to playing sports, there's a difference between being great and being legendary. And my fear for this season is that we'll be great, but we're not really getting legendary. And Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, BA, Debo, all could be Hall of Famers, depending on how you feel about them, depending on where their careers fall. But I just kind of fear that we're going to be the Buffalo Bills losing 4 Super Bowls in a row. It's just, I don't want to have that feeling, but there's just something in me that's just like, these guys want to be great. And I don't see the legendary right now, but maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but that's kind of what I see right now. That's what I'm kind of, that's what I hope I'm wrong about.
I feel like I'm not writing him off, man. It comes down to Brock. He's so much better than Jimmy. This team has a legit chance, and they know it. I think even in the past, they would kind of pat themselves on the back for making it as far as they did in spite of Jimmy.
True.
Without saying it. And now it's we don't have that excuse anymore. Your quarterback is going to win the MVP or come in second. Yeah, you have it all. If you don't win the Super Bowl this year, it's going to be humiliating.
Oh, absolutely. It'd be so humiliating. And all Cal needed, I think, was a quarterback to answer his text. So Brock is definitely that person. Brock seems dialed in. I just worry about the other team. I just worry about, is everybody dialed in for every game of the season like Brock is? Is Debo going to be dialed in for every game? Are we going to lose against the Cardinals because of just stupidity and not being ready for it, and then miss out the number 1 seed that could cost us a trip to the Super Bowl? So that's just my concern. Hopefully we keep it all, but when it comes, I guess I just worry about focus.
Yeah. Well, this will be a great week because, again, Ravens next week. Bunch of players hurt. You kind of running in to Arizona with your B team. How do you play? Do you maintain your standard without those starters? We'll find out. I'm thinking no, but it's December. Let's see what the Niners got.
All right. Thanks for the call.
All right, man. Later. The Niner Razza something. You ready? What's going on?
Hey, how are you doing?
Yeah.
So basically, this whole concept about Brock being a game manager, it's just bullshit. Excuse my language, but
okay,
because he's a playmaker and game changer. Because we saw that throw on Seahawks, when they were playing the Seahawks, and towards the end, that throw to Brandon Ayuk, that touchdown.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And then that throw in Jacksonville when he was scrambling out to the left. He threw over George Kittle and 4 defenders to get to Ben Ayuk.
Beautiful. Yeah. That bothers you when people call him a game manager?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I think this is the best chance since like 1994 for the 49ers to get to the Super Bowl.
How old were you in 1994?
I wasn't born then, but yeah.
I watched that season. It was the first season I remember. The team was stacked. Dion and Steve Young and Jerry Rice. But yeah, probably the best team since then. Although I do want to say that 2012 team that went to the Super Bowl, people remember Colin Kaepernick a certain way because his career fell apart and all that. But that year, he was not a game manager. He is exactly what Cam Newton would say, a game changer. Well, he carried that offense. He was great. Not saying he was better than Purdy, but man, he was great that year. You know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think what Cam Newton means by game changers, like if they can use their legs and be mobile and not just throw in the pocket.
Yeah. The Niner Rozakians. Is that how you pronounce it? Rozakians?
Yeah. Rozakians,
I like it, man. All right, man. Why don't you go enjoy your Saturday? We got some football on. I think we're going to wrap it up with you, man. Good stuff today. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. That's the show. Thank you for calling in. I'll be back tomorrow. The Niners are playing a football game in Arizona. I'll be in Oakland. Enjoy the football today. Enjoy the game tomorrow. I'll be back with my instant analysis, instant reactions, and grades, and all that fun stuff. See you guys. Well, hold on. Did I actually look at any of the super chats? No, none of them. Let me do that. Brad says still nervous about Moody. Been great so far this season, but waiting for him to kick that big game winner. True. Kevin Culbertson says, concerned with this team. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. The Cards have always given us troubles. Except for in Mexico City last year. No troubles were given. But that was a Cliff Kingsbury production. Keith Foster says, I thought Brother Bob was a white guy too. You just never know with a name like that. It's like, is it a white person who thinks it's funny? I don't know. You just don't know. But it was good to know that he was the authentic Brother Bob. Mr. Blue Magic 23 says BB equals elite comment creator. Oh, no question. He's the MVP of the comment section this year. Brother Bob, Mr. Blue Magic, that's all you pimpin'. Pimpin' says pimpin' been pimpin'. Brother Bob says, Iglet, why you think I was 15? LOL, because I troll. Punk. I don't know. I take it back, man. I was just joking with you. I really hit him hard. He didn't like that. Wolf. Now he's going to be on my ass like he's on Larry's ass. Wolf Life Wild says, stop that. BP is a baller. Put some respect. Stop what? T. Moss says, Jim Everett is a something on Hood. Jim Everett. Brother Bob says, I remember all Super Bowls, even 81 first game. I don't remember that one. I was too young. Thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you tomorrow. Go have a good day. A good one.